Welcome in on the BRSN Insider. I'm sitting down with men's head basketball coach Ryan Moody. Coach, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
79-62 loss last night to Baker. CJ Vallejo had 11, Sean Fleming Jr. had 11, Austin Eckert had 17. What were your thoughts?
Well, those three guys scoring it was part of the game plan. I mean, we wanted to have maybe 4 guys in double figures in that 12 to 13 range and a couple of guys in the 7-8 range, just to kind of get that score in the mid-60s to low 70s for us. With injury and some other things, we're a little limited offensively, so we've got to spread the wealth and try to slow the game down. So I was happy those guys. I mean, Sean Fleming's playing very well, 5 for 10 last night. Everybody's had to just bump up their role a little bit due to some of the injuries we've sustained. Sean Fleming's now a point guard where he was a 2 guard. CJ is bumped to more minutes. Austin's bumped to more minutes. So without Connor Fleming, guys are playing more minutes at the 3 and the 4. So, I'm really happy with the way the guys are responding. Last night's game was a tough one. Baker's a very good team, very physical, play very similar to us in the fact that they like to defend very hard in the half court, make it a physical game. And we just didn't make enough shots. I mean, we just didn't shoot it very good. Some of our best scorers got great looks, and we just didn't make them. So and some nights that's the way it goes, and you put so much pressure on your defense when your offense isn't there. You can't just continue to get stop after stop.
You guys made a run towards the end of the first half, at one point being down only by 6 with about 2 minutes left in the first half, made another run similar to that in the second half. Back-to-back timeouts in that situation from Baker. What kind of momentum killer is that when a team takes a timeout and you're on a run?
Well, I don't know if it's a momentum killer. I mean, they're trying to get the momentum back. Clearly, and that's why you have timeouts in that sense. On our end, we have to come out of those timeouts and continue to do what we were doing, and execute. The crowd was into it. We were feeding off the energy a little bit, but you put yourself in a big enough hole, and that's kind of what we did early. Is you can't get back out of it, So thought those were great timeouts. I think we cut it again to 6 or 7 in the second half, and just couldn't get over that hump. We couldn't get that big stop. Or I think we were down 6 in the second half, and we gave up a 3-point play and a 3-pointer, and you go from 6 to 12 because you don't execute or something on one end, and they're executing well. So we kind of jumped around a little bit. I thought it was a hard-fought game out of both teams.
Adam Cutney played pretty big for you in the middle last night. Talk about his performance. He's
played well the last few games. He's really coming into his own. He's worked very hard outside of practice. I want to give him a lot of credit for that. He's in the gym a lot, getting instruction from our assistants and individual workouts, and he's just continued to get better this year. And I think with minutes, he's gotten more confidence. It's an experience thing. We're playing him at both kind of the center and the power forward position, and I think that's helped him, both down low, and then he's hit a couple of threes lately. His upside is huge. He's a really, really good player for us. I think weight room will be really important for him moving forward. Just continue to get stronger and continue to work on his outside game because in high school it's the 6'7" guy. They plant you under the bucket and make you into the center and the power, the down low guy, and he's got a lot more to offer and skill set. So we're really happy with what he's doing for us. He's taking some of the pressure off, some of the injury to Connor Fleming and those guys. So I'm glad he's playing well.
Back-to-back road games coming up. First against William Penn, 81-68 loss. Last time out here at the Ralph Norman Gymnasium. What kind of adjustments are you looking for?
Well, they're super talented. They can score the ball at just about every position on the floor. They're 7-8 deep with very talented players. So we're going to have to just fight and grind and make it a slower game. We're going to have to defend in the half court and junk it up a little bit with some zones and maybe a little press here and there just to slow the course of the game down and limit the number of possessions that William Penn has. And then offensively, we need to be efficient. I've said that a lot this year, and it just really comes down to the number of possessions you get. You can't waste them, and can't turn it over. You can't take bad shots. We have a small margin of error on our team when it comes to offense, so we just have to have a great night up there. And we're a little banged up, and guys are a little tired. It's February, so it's going to take staying positive, not getting wrapped up in the last game, moving on to today. Having a good practice, and then we're going to go up there early. We'll go up Friday night and get off our feet and rest up until 4 o'clock on Saturday, and hopefully have a great effort. They're a good team. It'll be a great challenge.
Is that a team you'd want to attack more on the defensive end, or would you want to attack them more on the offensive side?
Well, I think both of those things go hand in hand. The way we play and who we are as a program, we don't like quick shots in our offense. So the number one thing for us is great possessions, and so maybe a little longer possession. the longer you stretch every possession, right? So if we're on offense, if we're 25 seconds into that shot clock, when we take a shot and it's a great shot, we've limited the amount of times they're going to touch it. And the same thing happens on the defensive end. If we can grind out half-court defense and not give them an early, easy shot, make them get through clock, slows the game down, right? So now, instead of 65 possessions against a very talented team, William Penn's limited to maybe 50. You know, so that's what we're looking at doing, is shrinking the game, so to speak. And so, to answer your question, it's both. You know, we have to have great offense, and we need to have just some great half-court defense, and not let them get out and run. They're pretty good in that building, getting out and running.
So offensively, to counter that, would you rather look for maybe an inside-out type offense, get the ball in the paint a little more?
No question. Yeah, and, you know, last night we shot a lot of threes against Baker. We were down, you know, I mean, in the second half, and their bigs were just clearly asserting themselves in that game. We weren't able to get much done. We missed quite a few inside shots, and so as the course of the game went on, I think we ended up taking 33 threes, which is a lot. But up there, we're gonna have to have a balance. You know, I mean, scores at the rim doesn't necessarily have to be post players. It can be drives or whatever it may be. But we have to get scores at the rim and then scores around the 3-point line, and hopefully get to the free throw line. You know, like we haven't shot free throws very well lately either.
Yeah, I was just about ready to touch on that. 67% against Baker the other night. Going inside and working on that, what are the kind of things the guys need to do in practice and maybe outside of practice to work on that?
Well, I mean, free throws comes down to reps. You know, I mean, it's get shots, get to the free throw line, whether that's concentrate and challenge yourself to make however many, how many in a row. You know, shoot your bonus, your one-on-ones, and challenge yourself how many one-on-ones can you make. It's a matter of getting there, you know, and we shoot them in practice. Guys do get in here in the gym. I'm proud of the way our guys prepare. You know, sometimes you just don't make them. I mean, the best shooting teams in the country and from the free throw line can have a bad night. We haven't been terrible this year. I think we're just below 70 maybe on the year, and you know, but it clearly shows itself when we lose a game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they got to the line. I think they shot over 75%. You know, they got there a lot, so it really helped them. It hurt us.
Coach, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Coach Ryan Moody of the men's basketball team on the BRSN Insider.
Strong for my grandma. I am Raven Strong for my grandparents.
I am Raven Strong for my mom.
I am Raven Strong for my great-grandparents.
I am Raven Strong for my grandmother.
I'm Raven Strong for my grandparents.
I'm Raven Strong for my uncle.
I am Raven Strong for my mom. Way to go, Mom.
I'm Raven Strong for my mother, Mary Lou.
I'm Raven Strong for my grandma, Esther Boyle, and my grandma, Irene Heinen.
I'm Raven Strong for my grandma, June.
I'm Raven Strong for my grandma.
I'm Raven Strong for my mother-in-law, Maureen Funk, and family friend Bobby K. Myers.
I am Raven Strong for my grandfather.
Welcome back on the BRSN Insider. I'm sitting down with head men's wrestling coach Thomas Williams. Thomas, thank you for joining us this afternoon. You guys had a triangular duel a couple weeks ago against Hastings and Bethany. You came out with a 31-18 decision over Hastings and a 46-8 decision over Bethany. What were your thoughts on that duel?
Both of them were pretty big wins for us. Hastings is actually tied a few teams that are ranked top 15 this year, so pulling out a victory against them was pretty big for us. I saw a lot of great things from our guys in that duel. A few guys were losing matches, came back. Gabe Suthoff in particular was losing, battled back and ended up getting a pin, which is a 9-point swing where if we lose that match, we give up 3. Instead, we got 6 for that. So I was really proud of the way our guys fought out there, kept battling, thought they were still in the match no matter what the score was. So that was pretty big for us, and that was the first time we beaten Bethany. So that was a nice victory for us too.
You beat them pretty decisively. You had a couple of good outings from Dylan Scanlon and Alex Mitchell. Talk about them a little bit.
Both of them have been really I mean, they're so coachable. I can't say anything negative about them. Great kids, good in the classroom. Both of them are going to be Daktronic Scholar athletes, and they're always out there and trying to score the whole time they're wrestling. They believe in themselves, and they think they're always in a match. And yeah, they've been improving throughout the whole year. So I'm pretty excited with those guys and everything they do.
And then you have a guy like Tyler, man, who's put in some good performances for you a little as well. Talk a little bit about him.
Tyler, I mean, I've been really excited with how he's done. He's on a 5-match win streak. 4 of them are pins, and I mean he'll go for huge moves. He's exciting to watch. I mean, I like joke around. I call him the Riverboat Gambler because he'll just try some crazy moves, and I mean they work, and he believes in himself. And I think he's in a great mental state going into regionals with a 5-match win streak, and some of those matches he was getting pins, he was losing, and still, thought he was going to win and found a way to pin the guy.
When you talk about Tyler like that, when you work with him, is he more of a defend first, look for a weakness, or is he more attack right away?
He really likes to attack, and he's pretty aggressive. He really likes to do kind of flashy moves that aren't. I wouldn't necessarily try them myself when I was wrestling, but it's definitely exciting. And if you believe in a move and it's there and you hit it, go for it.
And then you got a workhorse in Steven Loosbrock. Just talk about him. He's been great the last 2-3 years. Yeah,
Steven, a great guy. He's graduating with his master's degree this year, and 2-time All-American for us. Was a national finalist. Had kind of a slow start this year, but really since the Luther Open, he's really continued to improve. I've seen him be more of a student of the sport this year than any other year, which you usually don't see with a senior. So, he's really bought in all the way, and he's improved in, every facet of his wrestling this year. So I'm pretty excited with that.
He's already been pretty good. He had a chance to wrestle for the last time in here in the Ralph Noam Gymnasium against Bethany. He took the win by forfeit. Did you guys think about bumping him up a weight class maybe?
Well, we thought about it, but really, that was a really big heavyweight. That guy weighed in at like 275, so there's not really a point of having him wrestle that match against someone that he's given up 80 pounds to. So there just really wasn't a point of doing that. But he would have done it if I asked him to. He's that type of guy. So if I tell him to run through a wall, he'll run through it. So.
You have the Central Regional Qualifiers coming up this weekend, February 20th, at Missouri Valley. What are your expectations?
Well, our region is the hardest region in the country. So making it out of our region is going to be very difficult. And our guys know that. We have the 1 and 2 ranked teams in the country in our region. So that makes it a little difficult. But really with how our guys are performing, we're peaking. Everyone's been improving this last month dramatically. This is the best we've looked going into this tournament. So even though we have a tough road ahead of us, I'm feeling pretty strong about a few guys really making it through. I'm looking for our guys to continue wrestling our style, attacking, and and believing they're in the match, because you always are. But yeah, if we make it through anyone who makes it through the region has a really good chance of placing at nationals with that region. So that's kind of how I've talked about it to our guys. I try not to play it up too much because I don't want them to have a lot of pressure, put pressure on themselves. So we've kept it kind of low key. Last week we trained pretty hard, did 2-a-days and stuff. This week we've really been tapering off and doing individuals, letting their bodies heal, and it seems like everyone's pretty relaxed and ready to go.
Now, what's a 2-a-day schedule look like?
Well, on Tuesday we came in 6 a.m. over in the gym, did some sprints, and then in the afternoon we did a really hard wrestling workout. Next day we had a wrestling workout, then a really hard lift after that. Gave them the day off to recover a little, and then same thing the next 2 days. So,
nice.
Little tough push at the end, but now they're tapering and they're feeling great.
Individually, from some specific guys, what are you looking for this weekend, especially in a guy like Dylan Scanlon, Steven Loosbrock?
Steven, I mean, I'm really hoping he comes out with winning the conference. He's beaten a lot, like all these guys before actually that are in, but all of them are ranked. So it's going to be a tough road. Dylan, I mean, if Dylan puts together a tournament that he should walk away as a regional qualifier. I've been really proud of the way he's improved throughout the year, dropping a weight class the second semester, and it feels like he's really got comfortable in the weight class, and I think we can expect big things from him this weekend.
So moving on past the regional qualifier, if you get a national qualifier, what's the prep work going to be like leading up to that?
We do a similar thing. We have a 2-week preparation. Same, we go hard the two weeks before. Then the week of, we really taper and really do like individual and just try to get the guys relaxed and feeling as good as possible.
Awesome, beautiful. Coach, thank you very much for sitting down with us. Head coach Thomas Williams of the Benedictine College men's wrestling team on the BRSN Insider.
Raven Strong for Terry Rice and Charlotte Graham.
I'm Raven Strong for my mother-in-law, Pat McKelvey.
I'm Raven Strong for my mother-in-law, Maureen Funk, and family friend Bobby K. Myers.
I'm Raven Strong for my mom. Way to go, Mom.
I'm Raven Strong for my mother, Mary Lou.
I'm Raven Strong for my mother-in-law, Jean Kelly.
I am Raven Strong for Tom Johnson, my dad.
I'm Raven Strong for Diane, Ann, and Coco.
Welcome back on the BRSN Insider. I'm sitting down with head women's basketball coach Chad Folsom. Coach, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
51-48 winner against Baker last night. Jayla had 17. Allie Taff had 16. What were your thoughts on that game?
I tell you, those two really stepped up, and led us. It's great to see their leadership, both captains for us down the stretch. They were poised, confident, and executed. And both made plays and really helped get that win last night.
Now, the pace of last night's game kind of was a little slow heading into the third quarter. Picked up towards the end of the game. What did you see?
Well, I saw two of the best defensive teams in the league going at each other. They're number one and we're number two in defensive field goal percentage. We're number one in defensive points allowed. They're number two in defensive points allowed. So two good defensive teams were definitely playing great defense last night. So that's for the low score. We were able to make the plays we needed down the stretch to get the win.
Jayla had a big three-point play inside the paint late in the game to give you guys a 1-point lead. Talk about the huddle before that and the play you drew up.
Well, we'd drawn something up from the sideline, and then they decided to foul because they had fouls to give. So I think they wanted to work the clock a little bit, and so they fouled us. Then we had to take it out on the other sideline, and we drew up something else, or call it something, which we had already knew what to do. We attacked the basket, got another foul. Kristen Murphy hits the basket, but it was a little bit after the foul. So then we're taking it out on the baseline. So we hadn't drawn up, in the huddle, we're not drawing up 3 out-of-bounds plays, but we called one that we had and were able to execute, got the ball into Shayla's hands, and she made the right decision, taking the taller post to the basket and scoring it.
The Nolan was rocking last night, 14th home win this season. What was the atmosphere like for you on the bench?
That was great. Our ladies really perform well here at Ralph Nolan, and it's good to have the crowd behind us, and our bench is always fired up and ready to go, and we've got great parents that come follow them everywhere we play. So definitely, it was a good win and definitely an exciting game last night.
Now coming up this weekend, you have William Penn. Last time out, you guys beat him 66-56 here. Going on the road this time, kind of a long road trip. How do you plan for that as a coach?
Well, we've had a few other long road trips so far. We've gone to Evangel and gone to Culver Stockton, so it's about a 4-hour trip over there. So getting ourselves mentally ready to go, get up early, get on the bus, and head up. And usually we like to stop on the way up, get something to eat, kind of get the blood flowing, and get ready to go. So but this will be a different atmosphere because it's a gym we've never been to either. So they're a good team, they're a very athletic team, and we got to definitely come out ready to go.
So what are you looking for out of your team this weekend?
Well, we got to execute. We've been executing, I feel like, a lot better lately, setting better screens and making harder cuts. defensively against them, they're a pretty athletic team that likes to attack the basket, so we've got to be good defensively at keeping them out of the paint, and they're also a team that really rebounds well, so we've got to do a good job at boxing out. That's going to be a big key.
So offensively then, you guys went 2 of 10 from beyond the arc against Baker. Are you looking to go work more inside, or are you still trying to expand the perimeter game?
Well, we've always been shooting 3 well. I mean, we're one of the top 2 teams in the country and made 3-pointers, but it depends on how teams guard us. Baker last night was really working on not getting us, guarding the 3-point line and making us put the ball on the floor, which we did. So it all depends. If teams are sagging in, then we'll have opportunities to hit the open shot. If they're out there pressuring us, then we'll be able to get it to the basket. So it just depends on how teams are going to guard us.
It seems to be a different player night in, night out. Against Avila, it was Loranda. The last couple of nights, it's been Chayla. Allie Taff had a pretty big night for you against Baker, 16 points. Talk about her performance last night.
Yeah, she was great. I mean, just running the show, getting us where we needed to go, playing, setting the tone with her defense up top, and then definitely, she was attacking off the dribble. She had a big 3-point shot for us there late, and then was able to turn around and get a steal at the other end, kind of get another opportunity for us. But I think she just showed a lot of, like I said a lot earlier, a lot of confidence, a lot of senior, she's not a senior, but a junior, it's been here for 4 years, but a lot of leadership out there, and really got the team calm, but yet confident, and really did a good job running the show.
When you have a hot hand like that on the floor shooting-wise, what are your options and plans to get them the ball more often?
Well, I mean, if you've got somebody just hit a 3, we'll try quickly to give them another look, and with other players and stuff. But with Allie, she's got the ball in her hands most of the time and get us into the offense. So for her last night, a lot of it was coming off ball screens, and we were able to get some ball screens set up with Chayla screening for her. So, she's got good options coming off the pick, and she was able to attack well last night. They don't hedge the screens really hard. Baker doesn't, so we were able to get it to the basket a few times, and she did a nice job of that.
Coming down the stretch, what are you looking forward to heading in towards these last 3-4 games?
Well, we definitely got to keep playing well. That's the key. You want to be playing your best basketball heading into the postseason tournament. So we've got 3 more games ahead of us, 2 on the road and 1 at home. So we've definitely got to keep playing good basketball, keep improving, keep getting better, and keep our focus 1 game at a time.
Next couple of days of practice, what's preparation going to be like in practice to get ready for William Penn?
Well, like I said, we got to work on boxing out. We got to keep them off the boards. We've got to be able to handle their penetration. They've also got some posts with some good size that finish fairly well around the basket, so we've got to be able to defend that. So we'll work on the particulars, what we're going to see from their plays and things, and then for us, again, just continue to execute. Continue to run good screens and good cuts, and keep shooting the ball.
When you have a team that's really athletic like that on the offensive end, defensive scheme-wise, do you try and press more, stick with a man-to-man, maybe go into a zone?
It depends. Last time we played them, we were able to half-court trap them a little bit and get some stops that way. But we'll mix and match and see what's working. And depending on how things are going, we've got 3 or 4 different options to go to, and we'll see what's working.
Are you going to try to enter the ball in with Chayla a little more? Maybe try and play a little in and out, try and get some open 3s on the outside perimeter, or are you going to stick with the normal kind of game plan?
Well, I think we get the 3s off a lot of our movement and cutting, and multiple players getting inside and kicking it out. So I mean, we'll stick with that for sure. Definitely think Chayla's offensive game is she's really playing well and with a lot of confidence. So we definitely need to get the ball into her hands, whether that's on the 3-point line or underneath the basket. So she's making good decisions when she gets it. So we'll keep doing what we're doing, and like I said, we'll just keep trying to get better.
Loranda Thomas had a little bit of an off night against Baker, only 3 points. What are you looking for her this weekend?
Well, she did the 3 she did hit was huge. It was, I think, an 8-point game with 3 minutes to go, and she did stick her 3-point shot, so that was big for us. She also does a nice job defending, and sometimes with her and Allie out there together, we got some good quickness guarding their 1s and 2s, and but she's doing well, so we just expect her to continue to do what she's doing.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you for sitting down with us. Coach Chad Folsom of the women's basketball team on the BRSN Insider.